The camera never lies, or at least, that's what we've been told. In today's world, surveillance is everywhere. From traffic lights to convenience stores, from shopping malls to your neighbor's doorbell, we live under the constant watch of digital eyes. And for one missing person case, those cameras captured something chilling. The last man seen with her wasn't just caught once. He was seen again, and again, and again. On every camera, at every stop, he was there, always close, always watching. This is the story of a young woman who vanished into the night, and the man who seemed to follow her like a shadow, until both slipped from view. It was a Friday night. 22-year-old Claire Mitchell left her shift at a local diner, smiling, exhausted, and eager to get home. The cameras picked her up first at the diner's parking lot, adjusting her bag and unlocking her car. Nothing unusual, except a black sedan pulled out just seconds after she did. Minutes later, traffic cameras caught her car at a red light. Directly behind her, again, the same black sedan. At the time, no one thought much of it. But by the end of the night, Claire was gone. The last person linked to her was the man inside that car. Investigators began piecing together Claire's last movements through surveillance. At 9:14 p.m., her car drove past a gas station. At 9:27 p.m., she stopped at a convenience store. At 9:34 p.m., she turned onto a dimly lit road leading toward her neighborhood. The cameras caught every moment. But after that, the trail ended. Claire's car never reached home. Instead, the black sedan appeared one last time, hovering just a block away. Then, both vehicles disappeared from sight. 2 days later, Claire's car was found, parked on a quiet residential street. Locked. No signs of forced entry. Inside, her bag, her phone, her keys still in the ignition. Everything she needed to continue her night. Everything except Claire herself. Security footage from a nearby house showed Claire parking the car. She stepped out, looked around nervously, and then walked off into the night. Seconds later, the black sedan rolled past. The last image of Claire alive was framed not by chance, but by surveillance. When police traced the sedan, they found it registered to Daniel Hayes, a 34-year-old delivery driver. Daniel had no criminal record, no history of violence, nothing that screamed danger. But when they pulled surveillance from his workplace, something eerie emerged. In nearly every angle of Claire's last night, Daniel's car was spotted. At the diner, at the gas station, at the convenience store, on her street. Daniel claimed it was coincidence. "I didn't even know her," he told detectives. But the cameras told a different story. Daniel said he was delivering a package across town that night. On paper, the route checked out, but the surveillance disagreed. Traffic cameras placed him in Claire's neighborhood, not where his delivery logs claimed he'd been. His phone records showed gaps, moments when his GPS was mysteriously shut off. And most damning of all, his car was caught circling Claire's street more than once. The digital eyes told a story Daniel couldn't explain. Yet, without Claire's body or physical evidence, he remained free. Claire's best friend, Rachel, came forward with something haunting. Weeks before Claire's disappearance, she said Claire confided about a man. "He kept showing up," Claire had whispered. At the diner, outside her apartment, even when she walked her dog. At first, Rachel thought Claire was exaggerating. But now, reviewing the footage, Rachel was certain. Daniel had been following her long before the night she disappeared. Claire wasn't paranoid. She was being watched. A neighbor's doorbell camera gave investigators a breakthrough. On the night Claire vanished, the footage showed her walking down the street. Just behind her, a figure appeared. It wasn't clear, just a silhouette. But the way he moved, the shape of his body, even the way he held his phone, it all matched Daniel. In the background, the faint glow of the black sedan's headlights lingered. The evidence was becoming harder to ignore. When police moved in to question Daniel again, they found his apartment empty. His car was gone. His phone, left behind. It was as though he had vanished into thin air, just like Claire. But once again, the cameras caught him. Gas station footage hours later showed him buying water and food. Highway toll cameras tracked his car fleeing the city. Daniel couldn't hide from digital eyes. Every move, every mile, was logged. Investigators uncovered one final recording. A CCTV camera outside a motel captured Daniel checking in under a fake name. The timestamp, 3:47 a.m., just hours after Claire vanished. The footage, Daniel pacing, restless, clutching something wrapped in a blanket. At one point, Daniel looked directly into the camera. almost as if he knew it was there, almost as if he wanted to be seen. The next morning, Daniel was gone. His car abandoned, his room empty, and Claire was still missing. After Daniel Hayes disappeared from his motel room, the search for him became one of the most digitally tracked manhunts in recent memory. Investigators leaned entirely on surveillance, traffic cameras, ATM withdrawals, gas station stops, and even grocery store self-checkouts. Everywhere he went, Daniel was spotted. Cameras painted his path like breadcrumbs. It was almost ironic. He had once used those very systems to follow Claire Mitchell. Now, they were the same systems mapping his every move. But while police traced his route across several towns, they still couldn't answer the most pressing question. What happened to Claire? Back at the motel, investigators searched Daniel's abandoned room. On the surface, it was empty. But beneath the mattress, officers found scraps of paper. One contained a hastily scribbled note. "I couldn't stop it." Another simply read, "The cameras know everything." Detectives believed these notes revealed two things. 1. Daniel was unraveling. 2. He was obsessed with the idea that he was being watched. But was he confessing to hurting Claire? Or was he taunting the investigation, knowing the digital eyes were now on him? News of Claire's disappearance and Daniel's flight spread quickly. Local residents felt a sense of dread. Shops kept their doors locked, parents kept children inside, and neighborhoods became hyper-aware of the cameras watching their own streets. What haunted everyone most was the footage itself. Seeing Claire walk into the shadows, with Daniel lurking just behind her, became an image that no one could forget. It wasn't just a story anymore. It was a chilling reminder that in a world of constant surveillance, sometimes evil doesn't hide, it walks straight into the frame. Weeks into the investigation, detectives finally got a break. An abandoned storage unit on the outskirts of town had been flagged for unpaid rent. When police searched it, they discovered items belonging to Claire, a sweater, her work name tag, and her shoes. The items were neatly placed, almost staged. And right beside them, a small camera, turned off, but clearly once used to record. This was the moment investigators realized Daniel's obsession with cameras wasn't just paranoia. It was ritual. Digging deeper into Daniel's past, police uncovered an unsettling pattern. He had a history of installing hidden cameras in his own apartments, filming neighbors, and even setting up fake security systems. He wasn't just comfortable around surveillance, he thrived on it. Every recording, every angle, was his way of controlling the narrative. For Claire, this meant something horrifying. Daniel may not have just followed her on cameras. He may have been recording her without her ever knowing. Despite the breakthrough, Daniel himself remained missing. His car was later discovered abandoned in a wooded area, doors unlocked, with no sign of struggle. Cameras nearby showed him walking into the woods with a backpack. That was the last confirmed sighting of him. Search teams scoured the area, but Daniel seemed to vanish. No more sightings, no more digital traces. It was as if the hunter had finally slipped through the net of surveillance he once used to stalk others. Claire's fate remained unanswered, and now, so did Daniel's. Claire's family refused to let her case fade into silence. They released her story to national media, sharing the haunting footage of her final moments. Her mother, through tears, begged, "If anyone knows where my daughter is, please come forward." Her father said something that struck everyone watching. "The cameras caught her leaving. The cameras caught him following. But no camera has brought her back." It was a painful reminder that while technology can capture truth, it cannot heal the wounds left behind. Without Daniel in custody, speculation grew. Some believed he had harmed Claire and then disappeared to avoid justice. Others thought he may have taken his own life in the woods. And a chilling minority suggested something darker, that Daniel was still out there, watching, waiting, possibly even following someone new. Each theory carried its own horror, but none could give Claire's family the closure they needed. Claire Mitchell's disappearance became known as the camera case. It raised troubling questions about the world we live in. How can someone be tracked through so many cameras, yet still vanish without a trace? How can a suspect be recorded at every turn, yet escape justice? The case reshaped discussions about surveillance in America. It showed both its power and its limitations. Because no matter how many cameras watched, one truth remained. The system couldn't protect Claire. Years later, the footage of Claire Mitchell's final night is still studied in law enforcement training programs. Her face, illuminated by passing headlights, became symbolic of the limits of technology in solving human evil. Daniel Hayes was never found. Claire was never brought home. But their story continues to haunt communities, investigators, and viewers around the world. And it leaves us with one chilling reminder. You can run from the law. You can run from people. But in today's world, you cannot run from digital eyes.